Hey Willie, happy patch day. Password Games just dropped a fresh update. It's a small one, but it quietly fixes some stuff that the community's been feeling. From stronger footing to rework some damage and weapon handling, there's a lot to enjoy. So here's my day one impression of the May 22nd patch. Let's go. Starting with, characters stand on the ground firmer and it's harder to fall down. This really seems to apply both to yourself and the opponent. If you hit the opponent in the head or if you try to push them down, it's a lot harder to get them off balance. I especially noticed this in night duels, where typically I would have been pushed over many times or pushed the opponent over, and instead we stayed on our feet much longer. This seems to be an indirect nerf to blunt damage to the head, because typically this would make your knees weak, but now your legs seem a lot firmer, so you have to hit the head many more times before they get knocked over. Now if you or the opponent do get knocked over, it is a lot faster to get up. Before you kind of sit there and think about your life choices, but now you get up ready to fight. Additionally, it seems like you can control your hands a lot easier while you're on the ground, and you can kick upwards from the ground position, so fighting from the ground is a lot easier. For the rework and damage, it feels like this is the area where the community is going to need to spend the most time with. One observation I can definitely make this early though is that one-shots are a lot more consistent to the chest, neck, and face. I played around some in Commoner to see if I could feel a difference to the limb damage, because reportedly the limb damage has been reduced, but mostly I just feel like it's even more fun than it was before. I think it's like the movement, also they changed the sound, it just feels a bit more satisfying. Moving on to Polearms, the patch notes read that they stab better and they don't fly away from your hands as much now. I could tell a difference immediately when I jumped into a match with them, but what it felt like for me is that the aim is a bit superior towards the middle, like it has a bit more weight, which is not a bad thing. I think it does make the stabbing a little bit easier because it doesn't sway as much, so the stabs go a little bit more forward. But again, this is another area where I think we're going to have to test a little bit more to see. You can see I also tried with shield and spear because that has historically been very hard to control, and it did feel a little bit better. I think if this is a playstyle you were interested in, you can pick it up and check it out now. Okay, last big item on this patch notes list is the rework and rebalance to the weapons. They nerfed the Warstaff, or the Placion, or the Gutendag, whatever you want to call it. They nerfed the damage against armor, which is a pretty big nerf. I think it's also a pretty well-deserved nerf before you could get into Militia and just take that thing all the way through the whole Gauntlet challenge and it was over. Now, the change is that it doesn't spike through the armor and hit the flesh as much, it kind of bounces off, so it's really only good for blunt damage to the head, which you kind of might as well pick up a different weapon at that point. But you can still play with it if you love it. I know that there are some stands out there. You've also been extended to the swords, especially the Great Sword, which before felt very floppy and unmanageable. Now it swings kind of like the long swords do too. Overall, it feels a lot lighter and swishier. One last thing that wasn't mentioned in the patch notes but I figured I'd let you know is they got rid of the forced standing surrender for 6 seconds. Now you have to do it the old-fashioned way. And that's it for the patch notes. What do you think? What are your favorite parts? Was your favorite weapon affected by the weapon balance change? I'd love to hear in the comments if so. I'm going to put up some Commoner gameplay to wrap it up, and thanks for watching.
Seeking we are proud for our people.